It's the NFL on EA Sports, and if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Denver Broncos and the Baltimore Ravens. All that and more coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their rookie QB, the young man out of Oregon.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
First carry now for Jaleel McLaughlin. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's Nix. A short throw to Ingram. There he goes, left side. Look at the big man rumble. He may go. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Evan Ingram, 76 yards. And the Broncos are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game, almost like basketball, where both teams press and one team gets an advantage, our team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. Now Jackson.
That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hopkins. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
If you're these receivers, you got to be ready, because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Well, he's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. Fourth down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. Jackson from the shotgun.
Room to maneuver at the 35.
And all the way down to the 33-yard line. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there.
So now following the roll of the dice, they've got a 1st and 10 inside the 35.
Jackson now.
That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Well, they clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. And I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that and continuing to let him throw the football.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
The quick, and he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, a 12-yard touchdown run.
And the Ravens respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Now, this defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, You should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. That time, a 9-play drive. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
Throwing Nix. He'll connect on the out route with Ingram. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
From the 46, here's second down and 1. The give is to McLaughlin. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and second and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting one more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
Here's 3rd and 3. Nix to the air.
He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Now it's Nix. This one complete. It's Devon Vele.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
From the 41, here's a 2nd down and 6. Operating from the gun, here's Nix.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 29-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. But those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game. And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
2nd down and 3. On play action, here's Nix. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Second down and 6 now. To throw, here's Nix. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete.
That was a difficult catch, and I admire the fact that he actually caught the football, worked so hard to get his feet down inbounds, tried to do the toe tap. Like, my dad's an accomplished tap dancer. I'm not sure he would have gotten his feet in on that one.
Is he really?
Yeah, that he is.
How about that? What about young Davis?
No, it did not. It did not cross.
It didn't carry over.
No, it stopped right there.
To the right side, he's got Vele. And the Broncos are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. These two teams all tied after one. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they go to work on a first and goal. McLaughlin will score. Touchdown, Broncos.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. There for the stop defensively, Nick Bonito.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Jackson. Yet again, targeting and fighting Mark Andrews. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on third down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a first down.
Facing fourth down, Baltimore will punt. Jordan Stout out there. Back deep to return is Marvin Mims. It's taken to the 26. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4, 2nd and 6.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. On the handoff, McLaughlin.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Nix. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Working out of the gun is Nix.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Adafe Owe showing off the pass rush skills. Remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
They'll go play action with Nix. He'll air this one out for Mims.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
To throw is Nix.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Batting that one away in coverage, that was Kyle Hamilton.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
The Broncos send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
That's caught. It's Flowers. Down the left sideline.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Zay Flowers, 74 yards. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Extra point attempt to come here. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Denver's offense ready to go again. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll run. It's McLaughlin. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the ground, here's McLaughlin. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So naturally they will decline it. They got the first down anyway on the play.
Who needs a penalty when you picked up the first down through hard work and effort anyway? First down.
And the slot man goes in motion left. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 41 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Nix. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A reminder coming up here at halftime, we'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first-half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen. Open man, and again it's Sutton. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Second down and a little more than a yard here. Nix looking to throw again. They'll set up the screen. It's McLaughlin. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 18. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's Nix. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Marvin Mims, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Lutz will look to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 2nd down. Hopkins, the man in motion right. Play action. Now Jackson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Again, Jackson. Flushed out right. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
Now it's Jackson. Steps away to his left. The 20. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Throwing is Jackson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, this from 34. And this one is right through. And that'll bring them back within 4.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
We saw a couple of high-octane offenses getting it done in the first half. Both teams had no problems moving the football. And you'd have to think, the team whose defense shows up in the second half is going to be the one who walks out of here with a victory.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3?
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Second half begins with a run by Henry.
And he'll get this to the 32.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. Here's Jackson to throw.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Jackson now.
That is caught.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
A first down carry for Henry. Alex Singleton, a former Canadian League star, in on the stop.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
They go play action now. Jackson. Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henry. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He's got his target. That's complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 24-yard line. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on third.
That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket to wait for the route to develop. Mission accomplished there as they pick up the first down.
Now Jackson. That one complete to Hill. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Jackson will throw again. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a first and goal.
Henry is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On second and goal, here's the option. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a third down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Ravens have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with a touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone, and that's exactly what he did there.
Extra point right down the middle, and that gives them a 3-point lead. That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Broncos offense and Bo Nix getting set for this next possession. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent, still the same in what they plan to do on offense.
Balled at the 26, 2nd and 7. To throw, here's Nix. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Here's McLaughlin, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now it's Nix. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to be ridden out of bounds down inside the 25. A huge play there for Denver. 45 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Throwing Nix. He'll connect on the out route with Ingram. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
A carry from McLaughlin. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Jaleel McLaughlin with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Broncos have retaken a 3rd quarter lead. Well, they were looking to pick up the 1st down on 3rd and short. They got a little more than they bargained for, finding the end zone as well.
And oftentimes in short yardage situations, you get a lot of defenders stacked near the line of scrimmage, partner. So if you can get past that first wave, there's usually room to roam, and he found it.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And that will make this a 4-point game. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's capped off by a 13-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The offense for the Ravens returns to the field.
They had seized the lead there for a little bit with a starting drive in the third quarter, but a moment ago, the touchdown that puts them back behind.
So their defense is under siege a little bit right now because they have not able to solve their opponents. So they've got to keep hammering away on offense and try and win this one in what appears to be a shootout.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10.
Flowers going to go in motion right.
Here's Jackson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
In motion left, Bateman.
Play action. It's Jackson. And the pressure gets to him again. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
They'll look to throw here.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. Unable to corral him. He fights through.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown.
Zay Flowers.
His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Ravens have taken the lead here in the final seconds of the 3rd quarter.
I know we often laugh and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. A try here for the extra point. And that one gives them a 3-point lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead. And that's caught inside the 35. 43 yards.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 down at the 31. Nix to the air. A short throw to Ingram. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
To throw is Nix. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And the Broncos are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. It'll go as a loss of 8 and a tough result there on 1st and goal.
Well, surprise, surprise. 1st and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak, no running play. They decide to throw for it, but the pressure got to them quickly and put the quarterback down.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Off the bootleg, here's Nix. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Oh, yes, this is what the good ones do. He used his legs to buy a little bit more time rolling to his left. And at one point, he flipped the switch from passer to runner, and he got a pretty good gain out of it.
They'll try to run this one in, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Jaleel McLaughlin taking it in from a yard out. And the Broncos answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a fourth quarter lead.
And this is a time of game where offensive lines can really dictate a team's fortunes. It's been a tough battle. They've been out there for a long time. But this was a question of who can wear down who. And that's excellent work to put a long drive together and finish it with the touchdown run to take the lead.
So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27.
He'll start with a give to Henry.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd down and 7.
Jackson. They set up the screen for Henry. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The offense on 3rd down, they've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This time they face a 3rd and 2. To throw is Jackson. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Alex Singleton.
And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
He had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
Here's Nix. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Up the middle they go. McLaughlin. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
And this is the worry, because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up, and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is here on 3rd.
Working out of the gun is Nix.
And this is going to be incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense, and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field.
Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Hopkins. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's 2nd down.
Now it's Jackson. This will go to Henry out wide. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. That's going deep for Bateman. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That was for the lead right there. They know they're in a position where fortune favors the brave. So they took their shot, but couldn't connect.
The Ravens send their punter out now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. .39 yards on the punt. Give him just 1 yard on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Broncos offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes. And he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
How many times have we sat with coordinators, and especially the defensive guys, they've talked about big plays, sacks. They often come in bunches. Well, it may not be a bunch here, but that is the 3rd sack of the game for them.
And around sack 3 or 4, I would think it starts to get in the quarterback's head a little bit.
Not just the quarterback, the offensive play caller, the offensive line, knocks people off balance and changes what they normally do.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's McLaughlin. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Nix from the shotgun. That's into the hands of McLaughlin. And he is going to have the Broncos first, and that should be the capper. Up the middle they go. McLaughlin. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. And they will take a knee here. They run the counter. It's McLaughlin, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
A fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Baltimore, so long, everybody.